evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Tuesday, May 24, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. International firm Local Auditors Inc. US $700,000 contract for cost oil recovery audit. Government warns international firms against using loopholes to skirt local content commitment. Temporary employment officially provided to 2,000 ESSEQUIBO Coast residents. REPSOL drills new well in KANUKU block. And almost $300 million in new police stations commissioned in Regions 4 and 6. Now for the news in detail. A consortium of local auditors and an international company have signed a contract with the government of Guyana to undertake a US $751,000 contract to audit US $9 billion in cost oil from ExxonMobil's operations in the Stabroek block. Here is Gerald Bryan with our lead story tonight.
The cost recovery audit contract, which covers profit oil from the years 2018, 2019 and 2020, was signed in a room full of stakeholders on Tuesday. Representatives from REPSOL and Haynes Chartered Accounting, as well as Vitality Accounting, were present at the signing. According to Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat, these local companies will also be partnering with an international consultant to audit the US $9 billion in cost oil from ExxonMobil's Stabroek block operations.
Let us move to the signing. Let us move to the signing of the cost recovery audit and validation of the government of Guyana profit oil share. We have the three local businesses here. Unfortunately, Mr. Floydens is overseas, but he's represented by Mr. Ramdia. Right? We have also Vitality, Azar is here as well too. Right, so we have the three local companies being represented here today. And I want to say that they would have partnered with an international company, Martindale Consultants, so that they can gain that experience, they can gain the knowledge to do oil and gas audits.
The duration of the US $751,000 contract is for 4 months. Bharat explained that part of the contract entails the international company training the local auditors and accountants. This, he said, is to build capacity locally. He explained that they were able to negotiate with the company and bring down the cost by almost half.
Initially we had, I think was over $1 million was asked for, but because we would have negotiated with the consortium and they would have also consulted with their international partners, we managed to bring it down to, I think it's $751,000 US dollars. When we are going to audit the other blocks, yes, there will be new agreement, and after, when we continue beyond 2020, yes, there will be new agreement. This agreement is for 2018, 2019, 2020, 3 years.
Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat has issued a warning to those foreign companies who have not been fulfilling their local content commitments, whether through late payments or even using loopholes to not hire Guyanese. Here is Gerald Bryan again with the details.
During a consultation with suppliers, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat recounted the various ways foreign companies try to skirt the law. Some of them, he said, use manpower agencies to hire staff. This is often used to cut corners and avoid reporting on local content. Others delay payments for services by months, which can impact local companies negatively since they rely on the payments to reinvest. The minister noted that yet other companies bundle their contracts rather than disaggregating them so that small and medium-scale enterprises could bid.
Payments and the time it takes to pay local companies. Now we got to be straight up with each other. There aren't many Guyanese companies that can wait 6 months for payments. There aren't many Guyanese companies that can wait 1 year for payment. There may be a few Guyanese companies can wait 3 to 4 months for payments. And that is a fact. What we've been seeing recently is companies going through manpower agencies. Now, we don't have a problem with you going through manpower agencies. But if you're going through manpower agencies, you must report to the local content secretariat that these are your staff. You cannot say that they are not your staff, they come from manpower agency.
Barrett warned that they will be checking companies and whether they've reached the local content targets set out by law. The minister warned that there are penalties contained in the local content legislation for not reaching those targets.
I don't want to sound too harsh, but if you read the legislation properly, you would see that there are some penalties in it too. And we will not hesitate. We will not hesitate to implement penalties once companies are not in compliance with the legislation. We have a chance now to address it. We have a chance now to correct that. We want to work with you to ensure that we stop this practice. I know some companies are working towards it. I know some companies are still involved in doing it, in the bundling of services that are required. So I will ask that you work with the local content legislation and iron out these issues. Because at the ending of the year, we will do our analysis. We will do our assessment of companies and targets that were set in the Schedule 1 in the local content legislation.
According to Minister Barrett, local suppliers have been coming to the Secretariat to complain against some foreign companies about the issues raised. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Some 2,000 persons who reside along the ESSEQUIBO coast in Region 2 have officially commenced temporary jobs under the new initiative announced back in March by the Guyana government. Amar Prasad reports.
Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo, as a follow-up visit to Region 2, on Tuesday officially launched the government's part-time jobs initiative, which will see 2,000 persons along the ESSEQUIBO coast benefiting. Addressing the beneficiaries during the contract signing exercise at the Rice Producers Association, the Vice President called on them to use the opportunity as a launch pad for greater job opportunities. Back in March, during an outreach to the region, the Vice President had committed to providing 800 jobs. However, this number has increased due to the overwhelming number of applications received by residents. Countrywide, government will be creating 8,000 part-time jobs for citizens. The Vice President had previously said persons could earn up to $40,000 monthly by working 3 times per week through these part-time positions. It was also previously explained is a part of a strategic approach to provide long-term support to citizens amid rising cost of living due to the COVID-19 pandemic and other external factors. Jagdeo had also pointed out that this venture is not easy for the current government, since the previous administration left no workable plans or finances to offset the nation's development agenda. Furthermore, it was disclosed that more than 30,000 jobs were lost during the previous APNU AFC administration's tenure. Region 6 was the hardest hit, following the closure of several Guyana Sugar Corporation estates and termination of over 7,000 workers by the APNU AFC. For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
Shane Marks now tells us that Spanish oil company REPSOL Exploration, which drilled its first development well in the KANUKU block offshore Guyana in 2019, through its local arm, is exploring in the block a new well that will conclude next month. Here's more.
News of REPSOL Exploration's second well drilling was announced by the Maritime Administration Department MARAD in a notice to mariners which notified that exploration drilling on the BB1 well site will last from May 21 to July 15, 2022. The new well site, according to MARAD, is situated approximately 72 nautical miles from the coast of Guyana and covers an area of 0.29 square nautical miles. Exploration activities will incorporate the use of offshore support vessel, Polaris, with all mariners being required to stay clear of the drilling vessel and navigate with extreme caution when in the vicinity. According to the Environmental Protection Agency EPA, REPSOL applied to drill and appraise multiple exploration wells in the KANUKU block. It was noted that the exercise could affect air and water quality as well as wildlife. As such, the agency noted that an environmental impact assessment was needed. In September of 2019, REPSOL had started drilling the Carapa 1 well in the KANUKU block. That well alone was reported to cost US $20 million. However, while approximately 4 meters of net oil pay was found, British-owned Talau Oil had announced that it would not be commercializing the well. However, in November, Talau revealed that samples from its previous discoveries at the Jethro 1 well in August and Joe 1 well in September in Orangewick Block showed heavy crude with high sulfur content, a variety of oil that is less economically viable than the light crudes found by U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil right offshore Guyana in the neighboring Starbrook Block. Drilling in the new KANUKU Block well will conclude next month. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
Coming up, mental health assessment program launched at Camille's Academy and CDB experts to examine proposals for regional food security. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese balls. Mommy, daddy, nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine snack, cheese balls. Love cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheese, if you love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese balls. Mommy, daddy, nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls.
Grab a Sunshine Snacks cheese puffs today. More cheese.
Wine, 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 soca and wine, soca and wine, soca and wine.
One of the most fashionable events returns. Soca and Wine Day Party. Fashion, decor, atmosphere, and the widest assortment of the world's best wines. It's an event like no other. Soca and Wine Day Party. Choose your wine. Fast wine, slow wine, hard wine, sweet wine, dry wine, or Tifa wine. On Sunday, May 29 from 12 noon at the Marriott parking lot. Early bird tickets $5,000.
Wine, 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 soca and wine.
With the approval of each new oil production project offshore, more jobs and opportunities are created onshore. And not just for those working in the oil and gas sector, more Guyanese are providing support services in transportation, catering, logistics, accommodation and hospitality, among many others. Oil and gas development is fueling Guyana's transformation.
Play our virtual Chick Chick game today and get a chance to win big. With over 450 draws, 3 dices, and 52 bet types to choose from. You can also be a winner with SuperBet. Visit www.superbet.gy or any one of our agents closest to you. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 years and over.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
They bright on the outside. Devon creams, many ways to smile, smile. You say, I say, we say. Have your good day. So rich, so creamy. Have your good day.
Devon Creams, have your fill today.
Get in the game, get in the game, get in the game with Buster, play.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, Xbox X Series. Just purchase any bottle of Buster, Turbo, Altitude, Classic, or Viva and look for the code on the bottle. Then visit Buster Instagram and Facebook at Buster Guyana for more details.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Pack your coolers and link your crew. We're heading to Marriott Beach for the first Beach Cooler Fed of the year. Touchdown Cooler Beach Party. Touchdown, the official Independence Weekend kickoff party. Wednesday, 25th of May, with a live performance by the hottest female artists, Patrice Roberts, Nikita, Vanilla, and Diana Chapman. It's coolers, drinks, and lots of soca. Early bird tickets $2,000, general $3,000, and stage front $10,000. Brought to you by the Cricket Carnival Committee, King Leo Promotions, and Hits and Jams Entertainment. Wednesday, 25th of May. Remember, we drink in water and mind and we own business this Independence Weekend.
American-made Generac pressure washers from Sylvie's Variety Store gives you the power you need to blast away dirt and grime, providing the perfect cleaning power for any tough jobs around the house or business, from 2,500 to 4,000 PSI. So get the Generac pressure washer today with all the parts and accessories available from Sylvie's Variety Store.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A 6-month-old boy who was infected with the novel coronavirus has died, taking the country's death toll to 1,232. The child hailed from Region 6, and he died on May 21. Meanwhile, there are 45 new cases of the virus, taking the total positives detected to date to 64,342. 4 persons are in the ICU, 22 in institutional isolation, 515 in home isolation, and 4 in institutional quarantine. Recovery stand at 62,569. The Life Skills Institution, Inc., in collaboration with Camille's Academy, last week officially launched a mental health assessment program which can detect mental health illnesses in individuals at an early age. Amar Prasad tells us more.
The online program will be used to train and enhance students' proficiency of life skills and, as a result, will be able to determine their mental health status, which can lead to early treatment and care if mental health illnesses are detected. The initiative is as a result of a collaborative effort between the Skills Institution, Inc. and Camille's Academy, which is an educational institution. Dr. Mark Constantine, who is a clinical psychologist from the Ministry of Health, noted that this initiative is very timely. He highlighted that many children in most cases have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which the assessment program can help to detect.
If you look at a lot of schools, you would see there's always a classroom for the fidgety children, for the children that are disruptive, for the children that don't pay attention. They always put them separated. And I think that that's a sad thing. ADHD is something that I think a lot of children, especially, and youths, suffer from unknowingly, without being aware that it is a disorder. ADHD is one of those disorders that it doesn't really have a cure, so to speak, but it can be managed with the right and proper intervention.
Dr. Constantine encouraged other schools to join Camille's Academy in utilizing the program. Meanwhile, in his address at the launch, advisor to the Minister of Health, Dr. Barry Ramsaran, noted that most children's mental health issues are misdiagnosed.
Kids are the bad boys in the school. They're usually misdiagnosed. And in my time, they would have been sent, nothing especially, down to the back bench. And now it's self-reinforcing because they have all the people who need help of a certain nature interacting, and the interactions benefit you like this. So this is, I'm very happy that we've taken this approach. I'm very happy that we're putting mental health on the agenda.
Meanwhile, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Administration within the Ministry of Education, Indrani Ramnarayan, at the launch, encouraged the students of the Academy to be all-rounded.
That is a message I want to leave with you this morning. Very short and very sweet. Especially our children. Develop your skills so it doesn't matter where you're placed. You will shine. You'll be able to do something that is different.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Almost $300 million has been expended to build 4 new police stations across the country. In the Shane Marks report, we hear that the stations have been commissioned in Regions 4 and 6. Here are the details.
4 policing facilities were on Monday commissioned in Region 6, East Barbies Quarantine, and Region 4, Damwara Ma'aika, representing a total investment of $299 million. The police stations were commissioned by Home Affairs Minister Robson Ben. A state-of-the-art police station was commissioned in New Amsterdam for the sum of $150 million, funded by the Guyana government. This facility replaces a smaller dated building and houses several departments, including a domestic violence room, a juvenile-friendly holding area, a child-friendly area, a witness protection room, a case management room, a case management system, a traffic department, and a criminal investigation department. The minister also added over 2 multi-purpose policing facilities at Albion and Wim, which were remodeled through the Inter-American Development Bank's Citizen Security Strengthening Program. The $74.8 and $67.6 million facilities, respectively, were designed to accommodate a fully functional domestic violence room, juvenile-friendly holding area, witness protection room, case management room and system, children-friendly area, and integrated crime information system and offices. Meanwhile, residents of Commons Lodge New Housing Scheme and the Sophia area will now benefit from a new police outpost in the community, costing $7 million. The new outpost will serve the residents of the Commons Lodge and Sophia area and will be supported by the Torokine Police Station. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
The tendency of the public to trample on crime scenes in their bid to understand what has transpired, or in some cases loot the belongings of victims, is a practice in Guyana that can prove costly to the Guyana Police Force in closing cases. Here are the details from Rupa Sinarain.
Head of the Police Crime Lab, Assistant Superintendent Ray Marcurius, in a program by the Guyana Police Force on Monday, stressed that swarming crime scenes for photos and other information becomes an obstacle in executing the police's work.
One of the things about our culture you might find is that most times when you have certain incident, persons have this tendency to want to rush to the location. They want to be here, they want to see, they want to put it on TikTok or Facebook. And this now would harm investigation. It makes it more difficult for the police because you end up now at the scene, you got to be trying to get the crowd back rather than focus on doing the police investigation, the crime scene investigation. And you know, a lot of time is lost in those areas focusing on the crowd when all the resources should have been focused on the scene itself.
Patterns of persons pillaging the belongings of those involved in incidents, such as shootings, accidents, and other unfortunate events, have also unfolded in Guyana. Reminding that it is an offense, the Crime Lab had appealed to persons to desist from such practices as they can impact the case.
That is an offense, and those persons can and will be prosecuted. But in addition to that, the crime, the damage that they would do is much greater sometimes than the items that they would have stolen. A lot of times evidence contaminated at the scene. Valuable evidence that may be able to use to solve the crime would be lost in those situations. And that is where the majority of the destruction usually happens, in the loss of evidence and the contamination of evidence. Persons, you gotta understand the importance of forensic evidence in solving a crime and in crime scene investigation. Also in the legal process as well. From the time a crime scene is contaminated, every piece of evidence recovered from the scene becomes questionable. It cannot stand the scrutiny of the courts. So you end up with a situation where the entire case now could end up going overboard because of a contaminated evidence, because of a poorly managed crime scene and so forth.
In Guyana, a number of specialists work with detectives to process criminal cases. It is a slow process, allowing for attention to details and factors which may assist investigators in closing the case and apprehending the perpetrator. In this case, securing the scene and collecting evidence becomes of paramount importance. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
On the heels of the discussions that have been had in Guyana during the recently concluded Agri-Investment Forum and Expo, the Caribbean Development Bank has said it has assembled a team of experts who would examine proposals for improving regional food security. Here is Rupa Sinarain again with the details.
In a statement, the CDB announced that a team of experts will examine strategies for transforming the agri-food sector, placing emphasis on improving cross-border trade with a view of assisting CARICOM in its commitment to reduce its food import bill by 25% by 2025. The experts will speak at the 52nd annual meeting of the Food Security Seminar on June 1, 2022 in the Turks and Caicos Islands. CDB Vice President of Operations Isaac Solomon, who will be speaking at the event, described the webinar as timely. It was explained that representatives of the International Trade Center, the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, and the private and public sectors will be attending the seminar and will seek to identify opportunities for unlocking regional markets for agri-food MSMEs. Meanwhile, regional infrastructure inclusive of road networks, seaports and airports, existing warehousing, storage and distribution centers, regulatory agencies including border security agencies, and other elements of logistic networks will be examined. When it comes to discussions on regional food security, the CDB noted the importance of addressing the logistical challenges that connectivity places on regional trade. This means that the seminar will build on the success of various countries in the agriculture sector and examine the role of regional institutions in supporting objectives of regional governments. This seminar is intended as the first of several to be held as part of the bank's annual meeting of its highest decision-making body, the Board of Governors. The 52nd annual meeting is being held after a 2-year hiatus of in-person events due to prevailing travel restrictions. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Thursday, May 25th at 1 hour for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berries River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Thursday, May 25th at 13 hours 5 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Let's now take a look at the local stock exchange market compliments of GASI. Medalists shine at road race. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacWarp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Pack your coolers and link your crew. We're heading to Marriott Beach for the first Beach Cooler Fed of the year. Touchdown Cooler Beach Party. Touchdown, the official Independence Weekend kickoff party. Wednesday, 25th of May, with a live performance by the hottest female artists, Patrice Roberts. Nikita, Vanilla, and Diana Chapman. It's coolers, drinks, and lots of soca. Early bird tickets $2,000, general $3,000, and stage front $10,000. Brought to you by the Cricket Carnival Committee, King Leo Promotions, and Hits and Jams Entertainment. Wednesday, 25th of May. Remember, we drink in water and mind and we own business this Independence Weekend.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Your child needs nutrients every day. ENFAGROW has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. ENFAGROW has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with ENFAGROW. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
It happens. Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the two most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Catch the Band makes their return to Guyana after 2 years. This Independence Night, Thursday, 26th of May, at the Marriott parking lot for the El Dorado Stinging Nettles. Rum inclusive. Yes, yes, yes. And the band performing all his hit songs while you enjoy the world's best rum, El Dorado. Friday all night long at the Marriott parking lot.
Early bird $5,000, VIP $30,000.
Brought to you by King Leo Promotions, Hits and Jams, and the Cricket Carnival Committee. The road to Cricket Carnival begins here.
Your child needs nutrients every day. ENFAGROW has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. ENFAGROW has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with ENFAGROW. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Over the years, ISG has been providing all sectors across Guyana with quality products and outstanding customer service. Proud distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, engineered for tropical conditions. International trucks and parts, leading the change. SEM Machinery, a Caterpillar brand. SKF bearings and mounted products. Napa batteries. Tide power generators. Discover the greatest source of power. Industrial Supply of Guyana Inc. The best opportunity to make the right choice.